when you get into login and then you come to this dashboard. So instead of starting from search engine optimization, we want to start from market research. And when we deep dive into the market research, we are trying to understand what is my niche, what is the current environment and trends impacting my niche, what is the promise that I'm delivering to my niche, what are the different activities and insights that I'm sharing with my target audience. UUI means unique and useful insights. In the end, marketing is all about communicating these insights, educational steps. This nowadays content marketing is less less reliant on the technical part of the SEO, because I can tell you that most of these H1 tag, meta tag, alt tag, all these things, even if you miss, Google's algorithms are advanced. They can pick up themselves. You can experiment this in the A/B test, that you don't write meta description H1 tag. Still, it ranks and it creates some meta description because it can read the gist of or summary of your article, and based on that, it can populate itself. I can go inside it, and as I said, it has different pillars: market research, competitor differentiation, topic modeling. Let me first start here. So when I say niche, then I can start with saying, okay, my niche. In my case, for example, I'm targeting B2B SaaS founders. Now, if you ask me what kind of B2B SaaS founders, is also very big, right? SaaS is like Logitech, RegTech, whatever. I mean, how many SaaS are there? Like health, medical, it's like too big. Then I'm saying I'm targeting B2B tech SaaS founders, so tech oriented. These people, I qualifying them, these are programmer, developers. That's where I'm narrowing down. And further narrowing down, I'm saying that my micro niche is B2B sales and marketing SaaS founders. So people who are tech oriented and they are creating softwares for the sales and marketing field. Still, you can challenge me that Harish, it is too high. Still, that you have to be really, really narrow down. So this is approach you can further narrow down. It depends on your specific situation. Are there many competitors? Are you are the only one in the Pune who is creating vaccine? Then you don't have to narrow down, right? You're only one
Right.
in India. But if
Correct.
let's say if there are thousands of companies who are creating vaccine, and
Mhm.
they have to specifically narrow it down to who are the people who will buy vaccine from them, right? So they need to really go down. It depends on your specific situation. But suppose in my case, I narrowed it down. This approach is called niche down. So as
Okay.
much as you niche down, you will find more resonating messages. You will find more specific pain points that you can attach back to your solutions and services. So more you narrow down, more it is possible that you bring your product solution into this emotional connection with your buyer. And this is exactly same approach as you will try to find a long tail keyword, because in the long tail keyword you're also trying to find like enough audience target, but also something that you can rank easily, right? But that is kind of optimized for Google. But this is really, if you follow this approach, then you're not just optimizing randomly for some keyword, but you're really able to then connect with all your sales and marketing arguments also. Because as a SEO guy, I can use this all these tools, Ahrefs, SEMrush, anything, right? I can write a very good blog. But in the end, if this website is for a software company or something, and if these guys who are product owners or who are developing this product, right, if they cannot justify what is written in this blog, then and or they cannot connect to their products benefits and features, right, then this whole thing doesn't work. Because what we should try to do basically is like you have product, you have marketing, and you have sales. These three things should speak together. They should not talk different language. My marketing can talk about something very different, it's ranked and optimized for a particular topic. But if my product and services have a gap into this, then also it won't fit, right? So using this approach, you like really refine even product ideas. So you say, my ideal prospect is Fred, who is married, 37-year-old tech founder. Currently, he earns this, who wants to build an exciting company, exit 5 years. I'm really defining who is my target audience. There's a lot of help here, actually. Maybe you should do one or three exercise and try to understand like why this is important to come up with this kind of definition. So, what is niche? What is sub niche? And why we should define it in a narrow way. Also, you don't need to do this whole exercise by yourself, because we have this fill with AI option. You can
Correct.
also generate a lot of insights. So if you have filled like this, then you can generate insight and come back again and see.
What is that? What is that generating insights?
It's like based on your input,
Mm-hmm.
it gives you more refined answers. It gives you more detailed analysis of what should be you targeting. So, for
I see.
example,
Yeah.
so you see here like what is happening when I fill these details. We have now collected some basic information. So it's giving me more advanced ideas. Like we would like to define a person or organization that you wanted to build as your customer avatar. So here some insights are coming here. Then you also will go through this and you will find some items that you never thought about. Like okay, this can be very interesting point for my company or my product.
Okay.
Is suggesting me based on this Netherlands, based on this information that not only Netherlands, but you can also target in Pittsburgh, Seattle, Waterloo neighborhood, and San Francisco Sea area. And when I go through this, it gives me more ideas that I can refine this information more better. So these are like AI generated insights based on
Okay.
what I feel it here, and then it continues. So I can go to semantics. I can define some one or two keyword. It will generate
Mm-hmm.
more of such. I can generate more insights. I can refine it. So the way to use it, like you come up with two idea, then you
Mm-hmm.
autofill it. You see it doesn't it makes sense or not. You go to generate insight, and again you check if it's like what you are supposed to do, right? So
But
you can.
Harish, I have one question here.
Yeah,
Showed me that defining the niche and then sub niche and then micro niche and then again, refining my target audience. It might work for a company which has one product or one service. But if you take our example, we are doing website designing, we are doing web development, we are doing web hosting, digital marketing, SEO, lot many things we are doing. So literally speaking, everybody is our customer.
right, right.
So how do we define all these things?
Exactly, and this is you are not challenged on this. Why? Because you have 21 years of business. You are getting your business like through referral system. But
Hmm.
if you have to start it today, all this
Hmm.
thing you don't take into account. You need to start a new website today. Let's for
Okay.
your business. It will be very hard to rank it. It will be very hard to resonate with anyone. And
Hmm.
if you are not having this referral system, like people don't know you, if you go to different city and start all over again, this
Hmm.
approach will not work because people see you. I don't want to say it, but uh, pardon my language, is more like jack of all trade, right? Search engines
Right.
see you jack of all trade. People see you jack of all trade, and I really don't mean that. I'm just
Hmm.
giving you like
Yeah, got it.
an insight
Hmm.
because it is very confusing. It's like just imagine you're in Pune, you have particular like ailment, and you will not call directly if you know exactly what is your pain, right?
Hmm.
If it is something normal fever or something, you will go to general physician. It's okay. But if you are experiencing some different pain points, you will definitely call a specific specialist. And this
Correct.
is exactly here we wanted to try to make a website
Hmm.
which is for a specific established like you are a domain specialist then, and
Hmm.
in order to become domain specialist you have to really narrow down, and more you
Right.
narrow down you will reach more to the specific target audience. Because what happens, like the moment people search for the best web designing services in Pune,
Hmm.
everyone is coming in that search. I just did the search and you can tell me like if I am wrong. I just best web design company in Pune. Now
Correct.
I'm looking and looking and looking. This is already like maybe second page or third page or even
Right.
first page. But
Our site is not there.
yeah, and
Correct.
why not there? Because the moment I go here, I can create on these services every point you mentioned. Even I can create like three times of a specific website on this. If you ask me software development, I can create like 10 different in-depth website which is tackling different things. Software
Okay.
development could be a blockchain software development, it can be a
Hmm.
robotic software development, it can be something else, right?
Hmm.
So Of course you are established, you have your clients coming through referral system, but not necessary that the client that you are working with giving the result might be that established. They might have a referral.
Correct.
What if somebody approach in Pune who is like a startup website and is developing robotic system vaccine production, let's say,
Mhm.
then
Mhm.
this is very particular business, very specific business, and it's not need to necessarily rank on Google. But the
Right.
people who are all around the world of those chemical supplier, they need should be able to find it, and they should be able to connect themselves, say, hey, this is like established player with this kind of
Mhm.
information. And that's
Mhm.
where I'm saying that this approach of crawl queue will work, because you're not looking at the like keyword approach, but you're looking really deep dive into the customer's pain point. Then you can also start with these helper functions. So give me like some topic which a client come to you very recently and he want to develop website and he don't know like how to
Okay.
approach it.
Okay. Let's say my one of my client is doing the yoga training.
Yoga training, right? Okay, this is still kind of broad, but let's start with this. So
Mhm.
when I say yoga training, then it could be different types of yoga. It could be
Correct.
many things could be there. But you see in
Right.
the yoga training, these are the topics which are trending. So yoga training near me is
Mhm.
that's the first thing you can suggest him, that we are
Yeah.
going to do Google My Business optimization for you. And when
Mhm.
people say yoga training near me, you should be the first person to be found out. So this is a starting point.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is the second came yoga training online,
Correct.
yoga training
Correct.
India, yoga training retreat, yoga training Costa Rica. We didn't define the country, so we are getting these kind of searches. But these are the many topics which are trending for yoga on
Mhm.
website. But first,
Okay.
I would do is like generate some simple insights. So do more
Mhm.
research on it. And when I say
Okay.
insights, it's like it giving me some direction where I should try to search. So what idea would my target audience would have about yoga training? So they would not realize that even though they can enlarge their hamstring, that doesn't mean they have a clear path to health. They would be frustrated by the understanding that there are a lot of roadblocks, blockages, and general yukiness that can happen, which needs to be cleared out before they go to a place with more ease and flexibility. So
Mhm.
if it's a physical yoga training, then people prefer to go to a place with more ease and flexibility. This is one insight we got just reading the first one. How would I
Okay.
help my target audience become relaxed and assured they are in the best hands to achieve their yoga training goals? Again, if it's online yoga training, then this
Mhm.
client need to really create an ambience, need to create his website where people feel relaxed
Right.
and assured in their services, and they should build a trust by just looking at the website and content that these people
Right.
are expert. I would show them scientific studies that comprehensively show that change in their body chemistry happen when they do yoga. It is telling me that if I wanted to do online yoga site, I need
Mhm.
to focus on a specific scientific reasoning of those postures,
Mhm.
and I will show my deep knowledge. Then only people will subscribe to me for that online training. If I just put some website with some description, it won't happen. I need to really go into the scientific characteristic of these different asanas. Then
Right.
still it is a lot of things are here. What would my target audience have a suspicion about yoga training? So I need to understand competition, suspicion,
Mhm.
what is my main competition? Other major yoga studios such as Yoga for Mind, Body and Soul. How does this topic relate to my audience? The idea for this topic relate to those who actually practice yoga. What is the main assumption for my audience? There are those who are actually
Mhm.
practicing yoga and looking into more challenging forms. So he, the person who come to you need to really understand what kind of people they are going to target. Is it women in the age group of 40 to 45? If they are, do they have some specific issues, back problem or
Mhm.
something? Or is it that it's more like a mind and soul type of like thing, meditation thing? Because
Mhm.
everything you start targeting, it won't work. First, you need to be really specific, narrow down, and target few specific customers who really need your services, and then it
Okay.
will go like mouth to mouth. So When you started 21 year ago, I don't think you started with every services. You may
Correct.
have
Correct.
started with very specific services.
Correct.
You got a happy client, and then,
Right.
I mean,
Absolutely. We got evolved.
yeah, you got evolved.
Right.
Similarly, when Tesla started, they only sold 235 Tesla cars to really
Right.
rich, wealthy people who are
Mhm.
happy to spend 500,000 and then just put this car in their lawn outside to just
Right.
demo it. When you started 21 year ago, you become like a Amazon of web developments in Pune,
Correct.
right? You become
Correct.
big and people of course come to you. But now we are talking here really specialist businesses, startups who want to come online. So for them, this approach need to really sink in. What
Correct.
mistake my target audience will incur about yoga training? So I'm not going to read all this, but you got my point, like where to
Yeah.
start.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And then it shows me like yoga training suspicions, yoga training dreams, yoga training websites, yoga training enemies, yoga training tools, yoga training questions. I can go more and
Mhm.
more deep. So it's more like a research type of thing. So it take me to the Google search, but the idea here is I have a specific frame of mind mapping my
Mhm.
research problem, that I'm looking at suspicions, I'm looking at dreams, I'm looking at desires, I'm looking at questions, I'm looking at benefits. I'm taking my own mind map notes before I start this exercise, because many people directly jump to market research, but it will only help if you have done some ground exercise. If you don't know who is your target audience, you have very initial business idea, then I would suggest to go through this exercise, like different podcast directories, social media searches about yoga training, video search,
Okay.
news story sites, Medium, Bing, Yahoo, questions and answer database, books and podcasts. Do some like basic ground research. You can also
Mhm.
then go a little bit into search intent discovery. So let me say
Okay.
yoga training. So maybe for this client, you don't need to directly jump into full-fledged market research, but educate this client and give him like what specific things that you wanted to target. So here a lot of
Mhm.
questions that people are asking on yoga training. So I can start with just what, and then you have plenty of question. What is aerial yoga training? Training. What is yoga therapy
Okay.
training? What is trauma informed yoga training?
Okay.
People are in trauma with some pandemic. Maybe you can
Mhm.
focus on only on those people who recovered from this COVID and having a
Mhm.
trauma problem. They're traumatic, and you can target them. What does yoga teacher
Okay.
training cost? What is yoga teacher training Bali, something like that.
Mhm.
But the point is, you have these questions: when, why, what, which, and people are
Right.
searching
Got it.
for things on it. It's like people are also comparing strength versus yoga training, trauma versus yoga training. So it's like
Mhm.
comparison type of things. A lot of type of
Okay.
yoga versus weight training,
Okay.
keyword qualifiers or
Mhm.
prepositions based on this graph is there. Then you also want to have some idea that are you creating content which is on the top of the funnel, so just
Mhm.
informative content. Then you will focus what is yoga training, how does yoga training work, how do I use yoga training, meaning of the yoga training. But if somebody
Mhm.
is trying to compare two different yoga training services in Pune or online on the world, then you say
Mhm.
top yoga training, cheapest yoga training, or
Right.
most affordable yoga training for the post traumatic syndromes after COVID-19 recovery. That can be my blog title, or should be my like middle of
Mhm.
the funnel title. Then I can have
So
some.
basically, these terms are suggesting us on what topics we should write the content.
Yes, yes, yes. It's suggesting you more research to narrow it
Right.
down. So before
Right.
you jump into full-fledged market research, which I started with this showing in my UI or tool, first market
Mhm.
buying wizard, search intent discovery, but
Right.
people were lost before they reached to the market research. So I now
Mhm.
kind of hide them. But when you are
Mhm.
new, you should start with this market spying wizard, search intent
Okay.
discovery, then come to market research.